Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today, guys, I had talked to you about the fact that I am going to do a big declutter of fragrances, specifically Middle Eastern fragrances. And in the past week, guys, I realized that I have like over 300 just in Middle Eastern fragrances. And that is not sustainable because I don't have unlimited space. And, even if I want to keep some to reference in the future, if I have to do comparisons, it's just quite a bit. So because I've been preparing for the declutter, I've had the opportunity to really select my top picks within scent profile specific to the summer season. So I had shared with you, I think it was about 5-6 months ago, I had shared with you my top picks for every season, but we have hauled quite a number of fragrances and we've had quite a number of new fragrance releases. So this is definitely an updated top picks list. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and tell you the scent profile that we'll be discussing. Then I will tell you which is my top pick right now for the summer specific to that scent profile. I'm not going to get into the notes or into a lot of review details because all of these fragrances have already been reviewed in detail in the channel as well as a haul when I first picked them up. I'm just going to go ahead and share them with you. I have a total of 16 fragrances, so we have quite a bit to go through, and I don't want to make this video run forever. If you were not able to catch my last video, I wanted to also take the opportunity to thank you all for your part in helping me achieve the goal of 10,000 strong for our fam, guys. Really appreciate the love and the support. And of course, we are going to celebrate. And for that, I am putting together a giveaway. It's going to take me a little bit more to announce it because I am looking into some logistics. I want to make sure that I can open it up to everybody and anybody in the world that's a part of the fam. And I want to make sure that I do my homework and understand what it will entail. Anyway, guys, but I will be making that giveaway announcement very soon. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and sometimes you even get a bonus video for the week. If that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. Alright guys, so as I share these fragrances with you, I will be doing so in no particular order. I'm just going to go from one scent profile to the next and speak to the fragrances that I have selected as my top picks. And we're going to go ahead and start with a fragrance that would be under the scent profile of a freshie. And I'm sure that not only this one, but most of the fragrances, if not all that I will be sharing with you today, will not come as a surprise because some of these fragrances I have talked about here on the channel to exhaustion because I feel that strongly about them. I also made it a point to not include fragrances that are necessarily like all year with the exception of a couple. I wanted to make sure that I focused on the summer season. So the first scent profile that we're going to cover is the fresh, right? So the freshy type fragrances. And of course, guys, this will not come as a surprise. I'm talking about Swiss Arabian's SHAGHAF Men. This is a fragrance that is a lovely, lovely freshy fragrance. And even though it was designated by Swiss Arabian as a male fragrance or a men's fragrance, to me, and I've discussed this with you before, this is more like unisex, and I actually think that it leans a tad to the feminine side. But all in all, it truly is, to my nose, a unisex fragrance. This is not a male fragrance. So this fragrance has an aquatic note to it. It has a bit of nuttiness. It has some spiciness. And it is also a freshie that, of course, has quite a bit of citrusness to it. But it is such a lovely, lovely fragrance. And I think that what makes a considerable difference is that there is a touch of florals here, and it is very specifically around the note of lavender. And the lavender here has been done so beautifully, guys. I don't know if you've had the chance to get your hands or your nose on this fragrance, but if you have, please let us know in the comments section, because this is one that I've talked about here quite a bit. So I'm sure that some of you have definitely picked it up. But that is my top pick for the freshies. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is for the floral scent profile, right? So our floral fragrances, and my top pick right now is LATTAFA's EMAAN. This fragrance I have of course discussed with you here on the channel. This is one of the first fragrances that I actually hauled with you when I decided to go into the Middle Eastern fragrances and do a deep dive. I'm sure you'll recall it was probably like my second or third big haul. And this is a fragrance that immediately caught my attention, and nothing has changed, guys. When it comes to summer and maybe even spring and maybe even a bit into the fall, this is a floral fragrance that I will definitely continue to pull, and I absolutely love it. It has some jasmine, it has some orange blossom, and the orange blossom here is done exquisitely, guys. There's also some tuberose, and then there's also some marigold. This is a fragrance that, even though it has all of those florals, it doesn't lose a bit of like freshness, and it has a tad of spiciness, which gives the fragrance some character, making it not just a floral fragrance, but a fragrance that has quite a bit of character. So the next fragrance that I'm going to discuss with you is from the ambery scent profile, right? So like our amber fragrances, and one that I have been loving since I hauled and I started to use it. I haven't had the opportunity, of course, to use it like every day for a while, because as you know, I'm always testing fragrances, but I've definitely used it more than 3 times, and enough to tell you that it does always get me compliments, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm speaking about AFNAN's 9 AM pour Femme. Absolutely love this fragrance, guys. This fragrance is of course very ambery, but it's also a bit fruity. It is sweet, and it's a fragrance that at the dry down, you get a slight powderiness. It's not very powdery at all, but the powderiness is just so beautiful. It is like a fresh powderiness. I don't know how else to explain it. What I really love about this fragrance is that it is very ambery, and what I find is that sometimes in an ambery fragrance, there tends to be a bit of denseness, to call it something, to the fragrance, but not with this one. It doesn't lose its freshness. It's not a freshie. It's definitely an amber fragrance, but at that it has some fruitiness, a bit of florals, and that powderiness at the dry down. And when I wear it, it does make me feel like clean and fresh all day when it's a very hot summer day. The next fragrance that I'm going to share with you will of course not come as a surprise, because this is a fragrance that from the first moment I sniffed it, I have loved it, and nothing has changed. Actually, I love it even more now because it's been sitting and macerating for several months. And I am going to give you an update on performance, but I absolutely love this gourmand for the summer. And I'm speaking about QISSA Delicioso. Now, you may recall when I did the detailed review of this fragrance that I told you that I was only getting like 5.5 hours with this fragrance. Well, now I am definitely getting 7 hours. Not necessarily 7+. It's really a solid like 7-hour type of performance on me. You know, like I start to notice around 6.5 hours that it's become a skin scent and it's kind of faint. And then by the 7th hour, it is definitely like gone. But I am really loving that. And I think that the whole thing with this fragrance is that this is an incredible gourmand, guys. This is really a delicious gourmand in my opinion. And if it were a bit more dense to give you better performance, it would be probably cloying. Because although this is a gourmand, what I love about it, it's that it's airy enough for the summer. It is absolute perfection. You can wear it all day, even if you're doing something outside and it's a very hot day. I absolutely love this, and I think it's going to be my top pick for a very long time. In case you don't remember, this is a fragrance that has some chocolate, some coconut. Oh, that note of whipped cream that I absolutely love. And it has like some florals. What I really pick up is some jasmine. But when I tell you that this fragrance is an absolute delight, this is definitely a perfect gourmand for the summer, in my opinion. All right, so this next scent profile is the citrusy and zesty scent profile. And I think there is no better fragrance than STAG QUATRE 4. I'm sure that you guys remember the first time when I hauled this fragrance, my reaction was, wow. I just could not believe, because even when it had not had the chance to macerate, it was a fragrance that gave me exactly that. A very strong citrusy effect and very zesty. There are some oranges here, some mandarins, and it's just such a beautifully done citrusy fragrance. The other thing that I love about it is that it's not just like citrusy and that's it, because it would probably, in my opinion and for my taste, it would miss a little bit of character. But oh no need to worry with this one, because it has a beautifully done note of ginger. Oh my goodness. So that note just pairs so well with all of those citrusy notes, with the bergamot, with the orange, with the mandarins. It is just perfection. And for the summer, wow. I know that several of you picked up this fragrance. I would love to get an update from you on how are you feeling with this fragrance now that we're in the midst of the summer. Do you really enjoy it? Do you really enjoy that zestiness of it and that heavy focus on mandarin and orange? Let me know. So this next fragrance, I'm sure will not come as a surprise, because you guys know that I have a weak spot for anything Swiss Arabian, but specifically the SHAGHAF collection. Oh my goodness, I just absolutely love every single one of them. And the more time I allow for them to sit and settle and macerate, the better and better they get, and the more I love them. And when it comes to an exceptional fruity floral fragrance, I have to tell you that SHAGHAF Oud AHMAR is absolutely exquisite. Let me just start by saying that although it's part of the SHAGHAF Oud collection, this fragrance does have oud, and I do pick it up, but this is like a, to my nose, this is like a 1 out of 5 oud, with 1 being the least amount of oud that you could pick up. If you have this fragrance, please let us know in the comment section. Do you pick up the oud? Because the oud here is like so weak and in hiding. This fragrance, guys, is all about the fruits and the florals. And when it comes to the fruit, to my nose, it is all about the beautiful melon. This is what I wanted Maillard Natural Intense to be. When I read the notes of Maillard Natural Intense and I saw melon, I thought, oh wow, this is going to be an incredibly beautiful and different kind of fragrance. Oh no. That, as you know, did not work for me, and that one is headed to the declutter for sure. But this one, wow, the note of melon has been done exquisitely here. So when it comes to the fruits, I pick up on the peach and I pick up on the melon, but the melon is more dominant. And then when it comes to the florals, of course, my favorite, I pick up on the iris, but I also pick up on a beautiful rose. This rose, in my opinion, is a little bit mature. It's not like a dated type of rose, like one that will make this fragrance too mature or anything like that. No, it's just that it's one of those roses that has been sitting or has bloomed, several days ago, and it's starting to pick up like that sweetness that you get in a mature rose. And it pairs so beautifully with the melon. It is just a delight of a fragrance. Okay, so this next one is for sure not going to come as a surprise to you, because I have talked about this fragrance so much here on the channel. It's also from Swiss Arabian, but it is in the floral woody scent profile. And I am speaking about Swiss Arabian's Jasmine and Honey. Now, you guys know that this fragrance, I just absolutely love it. I really sometimes just go into my fragrance room and spray it, because I really don't have the opportunity to use it as much as I want to. But this is an incredibly beautiful fragrance. This fragrance is all about, of course, the jasmine, the honey, the cedar, and the patchouli. But the patchouli is not an overbearing patchouli. To be honest with you, this fragrance has patchouli because I can pick it up, but it is such a faint patchouli because this fragrance is all about that jasmine and that honey, and it's been done so beautifully. I know several of you have this fragrance. Can you please update us in the comment section and let us know how you feel about this fragrance now? Do you love it more now? Do you not like it as much? Did it start to not be a love anymore? I'm just really curious because I am just really in love with this fragrance, and I will continue to pick it up as long as they produce it. So the next scent profile that I want to cover is fruity fragrances. And of all of the fruity fragrances that I have, guys, I have to tell you that for the summer, the one that I have really been enjoying and that I think is just perfection for the summer and that I plan to have in my collection forever is the KHAIR Fusion Lychee. Oh my goodness, guys. I know that many of you, of course, picked up this fragrance, and I want to know what you really think about it. I know it worked for a lot of you, but I haven't heard updates of those that told me that they weren't sure if they liked it or not. For me, this fragrance is such a love, guys. This is a fragrance that sometimes I just spray and just spray and spray because it is also perfect for layering. It's a fruity fragrance. You know that I really don't like fruit bomb type of fragrances. You know, me and my conversation around Xerjoff's Herba Pura that you've heard 50,000 times. But when it comes to this fragrance, it's been done in a non like cloying or obnoxious, like too fruity, too sweet kind of way. No, this is just perfect for the summer. Here you have some red apple, of course you have the lychee, and then you have some black currant, and you have, oh my goodness, that vanilla. The vanilla just does a number on this fragrance because I pick up the vanilla from the very first spray all the way throughout the wear of the fragrance. And that vanilla is not a weak vanilla, but it's not an overpowering vanilla because the fruits do take front and center stage in this fragrance. But the vanilla is like the perfect complement all throughout the journey and the wear of this fragrance. Okay, guys, we have to talk about this fragrance. Oh my goodness. Guys, I am obsessed with this fragrance. I picked up a second one because I love this fragrance, but I have been so looking forward to having this conversation with you because I have to tell you something very important. So I had a video talking about this fragrance, and I'm going to tell you in a minute what it is. I know you're very curious, but I had a dedicated video because this was a big launch for LATTAFA. And I had a dedicated video where I compared it to, I think it was 3 other fragrances. And one of them was a fragrance called Vanille Absolute. So I know you now know that I'm talking about SEHR. So this fragrance, guys, oh my goodness. Okay, so let me tell you what I wanted to share with you today. Are you ready? Okay, so I got myself a sample because there was something bothering me about my comparison to Vanilla Absolute. And what I ended up doing was picking up a sample. But there was still something not completely jiving 100% with this fragrance. And I just knew that I had definitely sniffed this before. Okay, guys, do you know what this fragrance is? This is Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. Yep, the one that was released this year at the beginning of the year. I have a short. I actually have 2 shorts. One, my first impression, and the second one is kind of like a mini review because I was so upset with that fragrance that I refused to do a dedicated video and spend all that quality time talking about that fragrance that disappointed me and cost an arm and a leg. I rarely return anything, and most specifically fragrances, but that one I did return. But what I did remember is that I had received a sample. I can't remember from where, but I ordered a fragrance and it included a sample of Vanilla Sex. And I immediately, when I saw it, it just hit me like, wow, I think that's what SEHR is. So I went ahead, guys, and I sprayed it. Please, if you have vanilla sex, or if you have access to getting yourself a sample of it, or going somewhere and sniffing it, and you also have this incredible fragrance, please do the comparison and you'll see what I mean. Are there negligible differences? Yes. But of all of the fragrances that I compared it to, I am telling you, vanilla sex is the one that is the closest to this one. Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But anyway, let's keep talking about this. So this is my choice, my top pick for sure, for the most perfect vanilla fragrance for the summer. Now, I am going to tell you, this one is an all-year fragrance in my opinion, okay? But I just find vanilla fragrances a bit too dense to wear during the summer season, but not this fragrance. I don't know how they did it, but it is just exceptional. And the more I allow it to sit, the better it performs. At this point, it is giving me a full day wear, and the projection is strong. The sillage still gets me compliments. So I am just absolutely in love with this fragrance. I know that some of you picked it up. Please let us know your opinion on this fragrance, but I am absolutely in love. Now, although many people speak of this fragrance as a gourmand, and it is supposed to be a gourmand, to me, this is a vanilla fragrance. It is an exceptional vanilla fragrance. It has a bit of booziness to my nose, and it does have a bit of nuttiness. But all in all, this is a vanilla fragrance. So the next scent profile that I want to cover is a musk fragrance, a truly beautiful musk fragrance. And I have to tell you that I had two fragrances that were competing for taking this spot, because I did declutter another musk fragrance that I had in my collection. But when it comes to the musk scent profile, it came down to Eternal Musk and Soothing Zephyr, I'm sorry, which I just reviewed recently. And while that is a beautiful musk fragrance, and no, I'm not decluttering that one because I really do love it, this one, oh, wow. Have you ever, if you own this fragrance, have you just sprayed this fragrance at night before going to bed and have experienced the most soothing sleep ever? And in the middle of the night, when you turn for any reason or to reposition yourself, you get a whiff of this fragrance. Isn't it just heavenly? And then if you wear it during the day, you can wear it, of course, in this very, very hot summer weather, and you're always going to feel fresh and clean. It is just the most beautifully done musk fragrance. This is a citrusy, floral, ambery fragrance with that musk that has been done exceptionally. So this is not like a musk fragrance where we say, oh, it's like your skin, but better. No. This is so much more than just your skin. No offense meant, but it is so much better than just our skin. This is just perfection. And if you have a skin chemistry that agrees with this fragrance is just so addictive. So if you haven't tried it, I really recommend that you at least try it, because I have a feeling that this will definitely be a fragrance that most will definitely love. All right, so the next scent profile that I want to talk about is not necessarily a scent profile, but I figured if we're talking about summer fragrances, guys, how can we not cover the note of mango, and how can we not cover the note of coconut? So the next two fragrances that I'm going to be sharing with you, one is my top pick right now for mango, and the other one is my top pick for coconut. And of course, you know, I'm pretty sure none of these two will come as a surprise to you. You're probably going to be like, oh boy, here we go again. There she is talking about Niche Emarati REMAS. This is my holy grail mango, guys. This fragrance, so here's the thing about me and mango, right? So I love to eat mango. I love to do everything with mango. I love a fragrance with a good, juicy, ripe mango. I love a fragrance with like the like mango skin. I love a fragrance that has a twist like mango punch, which I am not decluttering, by the way, even though it's not on this list. But when I tell you, when it comes to this fragrance, here's what I love. I love a fragrance that's versatile, and I've told you that many times. Number one, this is a fragrance that I will wear all year round. This is like when I talk to you about ZANZIBAR, Cruz del Sur 2. Are they the same fragrance? No, they're not. Do they give me a similar vibe? No, not really, because ZANZIBAR's Cruz del Sur 2 is also lactonic, which this one is not. But what I love about this fragrance is that although it has a very realistic mango note, very juicy, very ripe, very real, it is a fragrance that is also very elegant. So I can dress this fragrance up, I can dress it down. If I'm going on a Caribbean destination vacation, or if I'm going anywhere in the world where I want a tropical fitting fragrance, this fragrance will also fill the bill. But it is also a fragrance that if I feel like having that fruity mango during the winter, I have no problem pulling this fragrance. So this is a fragrance that's going to be at the top of my list, I think, forever. And I am telling you guys, if you haven't tried this fragrance and you are a mango lover, please at least try it. I know that the Niche EMARATI line is a bit pricier than all the other LATTAFAs. And I have to tell you that rightfully so. It's like when we talked about the Maison collection from Cadlash, you know, where you have Fleur Oud and Epoque Artistique, you know, those fragrances, I told you from the beginning, that was a different level. Well, when it comes to Niche EMARATI, guys, these fragrances are a very different level. All right, so I was going to cover the scent profile specific to coconut next, but since we talked about a Niche EMARATI fragrance, I want to go ahead and share with you the spicy scent profile, because in the spicy scent profile, I have another Niche EMARATI fragrance, and this one is MUGHAL Fort. Guys, of all of those fragrances, of all of the Niche EMARATI collection, which at this point I have sniffed just about all the ones that have been launched, I am buying them little by little because I really am enjoying that entire collection. It is a different level. It is an exquisite line. And I also love like the quality of the packaging. It's just an entirely different experience in my opinion. And at some point I will review for you the entire collection. But I've already shared with you, I think it's about 5 out of like the 12 that are now available. And when I talked to you about MUGHAL Fort, I told you that this is an exceptionally beautiful spicy fragrance to my nose. Now, when it comes to spicy fragrances and summer, you know, I don't necessarily pull spicy fragrances during the summer, but this fragrance, guys, is so addictive. If any of you have picked up MUGHAL Fort, can you please let us know if you find it as addictive as I do? Because this is a fragrance, guys, that I am telling you, completely addictive. It is an exceptionally well done fragrance. And when it comes to spiciness, this is all about the spiciness. But I find it that even if it's a very warm or very hot summer day, I don't have a problem wearing it on my skin. It may be different for someone else, or you may be someone that just doesn't like to wear a spicy fragrance during the summer. But sometimes I just need a MUGHAL Fort fix, so I just pull it. So I wanted to share with you that this is definitely my top pick in spicy fragrances, period, for the entire year. That's how much I absolutely love this fragrance. I am so impressed, guys, because we've made great progress. So this next scent profile is specific to coconut fragrances for the summer. I do have several coconut fragrances that did make the cut, but there is none other. This is my favorite coconut fragrance right now, and I'm speaking about LATTAFA's ASAD ZANZIBAR. And I know that this is not a surprise for you, because this is a fragrance, guys, that when I first sniffed it and started to test it, I couldn't even wait to talk about it in a video. I posted a community post, I'm sure you recall, and I told you that there was a fragrance that I was going to talk about that Middle Eastern Thursday that you all needed to get your nose on, because I couldn't even wait for a video to tell you, because that's how much this fragrance captured my heart immediately. And I have to tell you, nothing has changed. Whew. This fragrance is so addictive. I can't even with this fragrance. As soon as I pick it up, I have to spray it, which is what we're going to do right now. Wow. Oh, absolutely love it. Can you please let me know if you tried it? I know that a couple of fam members told me that they weren't really liking it, but I never received an update. I really love this fragrance. Wow, I just absolutely love it, guys. Anyway, can you please let us know your thoughts on this fragrance? Do you like it? Do you love it? What has been your experience with it? Because of course, on my skin, I absolutely love it. I love it even if I just spray it out in the air. It is just an exquisitely done coconut. It's creamy. And the whole thing about this fragrance is that it has an aquatic quality to it that just puts me in an entire summer mood immediately. All right, guys, so this next one is a scent profile, but I'm going to give it a twist. I call this scent profile the tropical feel. Like, I have covered several fragrances because even Zanzibar is one that, in my opinion, is perfect for you getting a tropical beachy feel. That's really what that fragrance is about, in my opinion. But there are some fragrances in my collection that as soon as you spray them, they speak to tropical. But in this scent profile called tropical, I'm not going to share with you one fragrance. I'm going to share with you 3 fragrances because I love to layer them to create the most extra tropical feel. So the first fragrance that I am going to say is a top pick for me is definitely French Avenue's Tropical Kiss. And I have a dedicated review for this fragrance on the channel. And I have to tell you guys, just a couple of weeks after filming that video, the fragrance started to become not a different fragrance, but definitely the performance now is just stellar. I get a full day wear off of this, but the mango, oh my goodness, the mango is so juicy and perfect. It is such a realistic mango. This is a beautifully, beautifully done mango, but the difference between this fragrance and REMAS mango is that the mango in REMAS is not designed to be necessarily just tropical, while this one is truly a tropical feel mango all the way. The next fragrance that I am going to discuss with you in this specific tropical scent profile is Taskeen Marina from Paris Corner. Now, I'm sure that that does not come as a surprise to you because you guys know that from the moment I first sniffed this fragrance, I said, oof. I said, this is vacation in a bottle, and this is vacation in a bottle. And then the third fragrance that I'm going to discuss with you as part of this combo that we're going to build for the ultimate tropical feel is Aroma Concepts Batik. And this is my second bottle, guys. And next I'm going to pick up a 100 ml because that's what I should have done from the beginning. Let me tell you, before I talk about the layering combo, let me tell you that this little fragrance is like a workhorse. I have layered this fragrance with so many different things. Like, I could take it right now and just spray it and it goes perfect with that. It goes perfect with Zanzibar. It goes perfect with just about anything that you want to spray it with. It is just a delight of a fragrance. It's so versatile. And I have dressed it up, I have dressed it down, I have taken it on date night, I have done anything that I want with it. And let me tell you, people will sniff you, people will ask you, what are you wearing? That is the juiciest watermelon. What is that? It is just an incredibly beautifully done watermelon fragrance and so realistic. And the more I allowed the fragrance to macerate, the more that watermelon intensified, because when I first received it, it's not that it was weak, but it wasn't what it is now. This is like the ripest and juiciest watermelon. I feel when I wear this fragrance, oh my goodness, that smells so good. When I wear this fragrance, I feel like I'm biting into a piece of watermelon and it's so juicy and ripe and all of the juices are like trickling down. I mean, it's just the most wonderful fragrance for the summer. But let me tell you, if there is a layering combination that you have to, if you have these 3 fragrances, you please just do me the favor. Please just try this layering combo, because when I tell you, this is the ultimate in tropical feel. You're going to start by applying Tropical Kiss. You're going to spray it like 2 or 3 times in the same spot, right? Then you are going to spray Taskeen Marina 2 or 3 times on the same spot also. And of course, you're going to end by spraying Batik. And you can spray as much as you want of Batik because this is the not the weakest, but it's the lightest in intensity of the 3. When I tell you, you're going to feel like if you're in the Caribbean, in the Pacific Islands, you are in some beautiful tropical destination having your best summer vacation. Even if you're at home, if you're having a day where you're just barbecuing and you're in the backyard with your family and you're just having that kind of day, please, if you have these 3 fragrances, go ahead and do that combo and watch everybody ask you what you're wearing and tell you how incredible it smells. It is just exceptional. If you're going to the movies one day because it's so hot outside, you guys decided to just go to the movies, try this layering combo on and watch people stop you and ask you, what is that? And then of course, you're going to have to explain 3 different fragrances. Anyway, guys, I am telling you, just give it a shot. Okay, so I only have 2 more scent profiles to discuss with you, and they're not really even scent profiles. They're things that I know that you guys are always asking me, so Arahi, what can I use for date night? What can I just have a fragrance that I can use for everything? That I think is the question that I get the most of. You know, what fragrance can I just have to use for any occasion? I don't want to get complicated, so can you just tell me what I can buy? And I've had ladies and gentlemen ask that question. So these fragrances that I'm going to discuss with you, in my opinion, are unisex, so take note. So let's start with date night. And this one, guys, of course, will not come as a surprise because I'm talking about ARMAF's Arabian Sky. Wow. This fragrance. Okay, so let me tell you something that I forgot to tell you in the dedicated review of this entire collection, specifically about this fragrance. So this fragrance was designated by ARMAF as a male fragrance, right? A masculine fragrance. And from the first moment I sniffed it, you saw my reaction because I hauled it with you. I was in love. And when I'm in love with a fragrance, I don't care what it's been designated. I don't care what people have to say about it. I'm going to wear it. But the funny thing is that I forgot to tell you that my husband does not think that this is a male fragrance. He really believes that this is a unisex fragrance leaning towards the feminine side, which is exactly what I think. This is a unisex fragrance. Do I see a gentleman wearing it? Absolutely. But to me, it does lean a bit to the feminine side. If you've picked up this fragrance, because I know several of you told me you were interested in picking it up, if you've already picked it up or if you got yourself a sample or a decant, can you please let us know what you think about this fragrance? Because to this day, I have not heard of one person, whether it's in the FAM or in other forums that I'm a part of, say that they do not like or love, actually, Arabian Sky. When it comes to a summer date night, this fragrance is perfection. Now, there is another fragrance in this collection that I am absolutely obsessed with, and that is Desert Night. And when I reviewed the entire collection for you, I was iffy on that fragrance because that is a no-joke fragrance. That is the ultimate sexy fragrance. Period. In my entire collection, that fragrance is dangerous. Dangerous. You know how here on YouTube and on Instagram, people are always talking about panty droppers and stuff like that? Well, to me, that is what that fragrance is, and my husband would agree. So I have to say that Desert Night is exceptional, but I do not see myself wearing Desert Night during a hot summer evening at all, and much if I'm on vacation at a warm or hot destination. No, but this fragrance, this is just glorious. But this is not a fragrance that I am going to only pull during the summer and spring seasons. This is an all year for me. I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance. And I tell you, I really want to know what you think about this fragrance. So this fragrance has a bit of every major scent profile in it. It is just such a funny thing to me because it is so clear to my nose. So is this fragrance floral? Yeah. Is this fragrance woody? Oh yeah, yeah. Is it musky? Absolutely. Is it fruity? Yeah, definitely fruity. Is this fragrance even spicy? Yeah, it's spicy. So guys, seriously, all kidding aside, this fragrance is just such a well-rounded and exceptionally blended fragrance. I definitely highly recommend it. I've been doing that. You know, this one, I'm almost behaving with this one like I did with Fleur Oud. I think I'm the one that has sold out this fragrance everywhere because this is just exceptional. This is such an incredibly beautiful fragrance. But I do want to hear from those of you in the fam that have tried it or picked it up, because I want to make sure it's not just me that feels this strongly about this fragrance. All right, so there are two fragrances, guys, that there was no way that I was not going to include in this list, but I couldn't even limit them to a scent profile because these are fragrances, you know, those days where you're like, I don't even know what I want to smell like today. Well, I've got the fragrances for you. You know, when you just have to run out, you weren't expecting to have to step out and you're having to go and you realize that you need to spray yourself with something. This is the set of fragrances. You can pick one of the two, but these are the fragrances. Right now, pause the video and go to the comment section and tell me, what two fragrances do you think I'm talking about? Because if you've been with me for a while, it will not come as a surprise to you at all that I'm talking about Vibrant Vetiver Delight, and I'm also, of course, talking about Vibrant Orange and Neroli. Wow, these two fragrances, these are go-to fragrances. And I just want to let you know before you guys ask me in the comment section, am I decluttering Mango Punch and Pear Potion? Absolutely not. But when it comes to mango, the mango fragrances that I shared with you today cover a specific spectrum within a very, very hot summer day. And Mango Punch is not that fragrance necessarily. It is a summer fragrance for me, but not to that tropical level that, you know, you have a tropical kiss and even a REMAS when you're trying to do a more put together type of look. Now, when it comes to Pear Potion, to me, that fragrance for a very, very hot summer day is also very good. But Pear Potion for me is like perfection for spring. Do I use it during the summer? Yeah. Do I layer with it during the summer? Absolutely. But pear for me in general, pear, right, is like more of like a spring. Now, Pear Potion is one that I'm also planning to use quite a bit during the upcoming fall season. But I just wanted to let you know that no, I'm not decluttering them. They're not going anywhere. That's just how I felt about them. Now, back to these two. When you're having a day where you don't know what you really want to smell like, pick one and just spray it. And you're going to be perfectly fine. You're going to smell exquisite all day. You're going to get compliments. You just can't go wrong. Vetiver Delight, in my opinion, is a bit more neutral, more less character driven than the Neroli one, because of course, you know, Neroli is a different type of note. This one is more demure, not weak. It's just a different type of fragrance, and this one covers a different spectrum. If you're going on vacation, and I've recommended this to several fam members, if you're going on vacation, can't go wrong with these two. When in doubt, if you can't figure out what to really take on vacation, make yourself a decant of each one of these and you are set. This is perfection. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and this was super enjoyable for me. It was actually painful to dwindle down my collection, and I am right now about to declutter about 75 fragrances, guys, and a lot of them I love. And I am going to post them on my Mercari account, and I will have a community post letting you know when they're all there, because I'm going to be selling them. Most of them have barely a dent because, guys, you know, I have a lot of fragrances and I test all the time. So they are going to come in their box and they're almost brand new. and I'm going to be selling them for a very, very reasonable price, and I will be including shipping. Now, if you live in an international location, you know, outside of the US, then please reach out to me via DM, because I don't think Mercari is going to allow me to include shipping when it's an international destination. Anyway, guys, so I hope this was enjoyable. Let me know your opinion about my updated selections for the summer, and I will see you all in the next video.